Hello, welcome back. My name is Kate Borsato. This is my YouTube channel all about supporting mums and mums-to-be in their journey. I'm here to help you find joy and ease and wellness in motherhood. If you haven't already, I'd love you to subscribe to the channel and you'll get updates about weekly videos that are going to support you to feel well overall. So glad you're here. So today we're talking about self-care for moms that's realistic. Okay, and that last part I think is what's missing from so much of the dialogue around self-care. It can feel like another thing that you have to do, another thing that you're not doing usually, and then we just feel guilty when that happens. We need to understand how we can do self-care and have our kids around, right? How we can be parents, mothers, and also take care of ourselves. Sometimes these things feel like they don't fit, but there's got to be a way to weave them together. I want to start by saying and offering this idea to you that self-care is not selfish. First of all, it's not luxurious, but it's also not selfish. And in fact, when you take care of yourself, you are so much more able to be the mom that you really want to be. So I believe that you are worthy of self-care. You are worthy of your own time and love and energy and attention. And sometimes it's easier to do it when we know that our kids and our family and our partners are also going to benefit. So it's kind of like a nice add-on benefit. So I hope that's enough to kind of get you on board to start thinking about how you can weave a little bit of this more into your day. So one of the biggest issues is that moms can't seem to find time to actually do self-care. We think that it needs to be this big extra to do. And I know I'm guilty of that. Sometimes I go through days and I realize I have done nothing for me. I haven't really been tuning into my own needs. So that's got to change. If we want to feel well, if we want to feel joy, if we want to feel ease, we have to pay attention to our own needs. So when I talk about self-care, I'm really talking about your ability to meet your needs in all of the different areas, right? So your social needs, your physical, your emotional, intellectual, spiritual needs. We have a lot of different needs. And just because you are a mother doesn't mean that you don't have those needs anymore, right? So just notice if that sense of guilt or, undeservingness comes up when you think of self-care. Right? Does it feel like this add-on or this frivolous thing that you have a hard time allowing yourself to receive? If that's true, don't worry. That's what happens for so many moms. It's part of our societal narrative. It's not your fault if this is hard for you, but I'm here to really help you flip that script and find a way to make self-care more realistic. So today, let's talk about 3 parts of self-care. We're going to talk about your body, we're going to talk about your mind, and we're going to talk about your environment. So these are 3 different areas that I like to pay attention to because you can find ways to do it when your kids are around. So the key for this video and what I'm teaching is that you don't have to do self-care when your kids are asleep, right? Or when you get a sitter, or when you get a chance to be away from them. Like, that's too hard. That just becomes another thing. So this is all about finding ways to do this when your kids are around. So starting with your body, I want you to just think about the ways that you take care of your body. What does your body need, first of all, right? So just on a very basic level, we need nutrition, we need water, we need rest, we need ease, okay? So you might even start to think of like, how could self-care weave that piece in? So I'll give you an example from my life, something that I notice happens without much thought. This is something that I always work on, is paying so much attention to my kids' needs in terms of being hydrated, in terms of having sunscreen on, eating a balanced diet, right? Getting enough rest. And then a day will go by and I get a sunburn. I don't get enough sleep. I forgot to brush my teeth in the morning, right? Things like that I would never do for my kids. And all of a sudden I realize, wow, like I just am not considering myself at all. So starting in the most basic way, how can you take care of your physical needs a little bit more? Okay. Does it mean making sure that you buy the things from the grocery store that you want as well, not just everybody else, right? Does it mean that you make sure you get some movement, whether it's exercise or dancing or stretching, in every few days or every day ideally? And can you do that when your kids are around? Okay, so it doesn't have to be this like big, huge add-on, but just make sure you're also tuning into your own needs, because you matter so much. Your well-being affects all of theirs, okay? So you might even take a moment to jot down what ideas are coming up around how you can take better care of your body in super simple ways. Okay, second piece is your mind. So I'm talking about things like your emotional well-being, your intellectual well-being, okay? So self-care, it shows up in these ways as well. So how are you feeling emotionally, right? What's happening for you? How are you doing? When I say that, just notice what comes up. You might notice some emotions. You might feel like, oh, I haven't even asked myself how I'm doing. I haven't even checked in. So one small way of doing this for yourself is every morning or every evening, or even like something like in the shower when you're brushing your teeth, just ask, like, how am I doing? And for me, I literally do that. I close my eyes, put my hand on my heart, and I think, okay, where am I at? Like, what is going on with me? So just tuning into yourself, that is even self-care. That is listening to yourself, okay? Try it. I want you to try that. Just one little moment, even right now. How am I doing? Where am I at? So I mentioned intellectual needs. This is another part of self-care, right? We have a need to learn and to grow. Just because you're a mom doesn't mean you don't get to pursue your interests or you don't get to learn anymore. No, like this is a big part of the human experience and it makes life really good. So ask yourself, is there anything that I wish I was learning? Is there anything that I want to weave into my day that would stimulate or take care of that part of myself? Is it a book that you want to read, a new hobby that you want to try, right? So again, don't take this on as a burden or something that's like complicating life, but more like, is it missing? Is it something that you would like to do? Okay. The last realm of self-care that I want to talk about, this is one of my favorites. This is environmental self-care. So you might be thinking like, well, what the heck is that? So what I mean by environment is your surroundings, so your environment. And I don't know about you, but for me, my environment plays a huge role on my mood, just how I'm feeling, my joy. If I'm sitting in a messy space, I feel it. And that's not to say that I don't sit in a messy space. Like, I am not the most tidy person you will meet, but I'm just so aware that it impacts me in a major way. So take that information and do something about it. So thinking like, where do you spend most of your time in your home? Is there something that needs to shift in your environment that would be a gesture of self-care, right? So I know some people feel like they have to have their space clean, and others judge you. They think, oh, don't worry about your house if it's messy, or don't worry about tidying that up, it doesn't matter. And it's like, well, maybe it does actually matter to you. Let it matter. If it matters, that's a really important source of information, an important way that you could make a change and support yourself. Okay, so ask yourself, how does my environment feel? Is there something that I want to add to it that would feel like self-care? Maybe there's something that you want to bring into your space. Maybe it's like candles or houseplants. Obviously, I like those. I don't know, decorating, cleaning, spraying a room spritzer spray, right? To make things smell nice, essential oils. I don't know, maybe these things don't matter to you, and that's okay. But the point is, use your surroundings to bring joy and ease and comfort into your life. It's not frivolous, it's not silly, it's not about redecorating. It's about noticing how your space impacts you and then using that to boost your mood and help you feel well overall. Okay? So I hope you've got a few ideas, and really what I hope is that your sense of what self-care means is expanding a little bit. Of course, we didn't touch on everything. There's a lot more involved in self-care, but these are 3 pieces that you could start to think about, especially when kids are around, right? You can weave things into your day that support your physical self. You can weave things into your day with your kids that support your emotional well-being. And you can bring things in to support you with your environment and the effect that your environment has on you. I would love to hear one thing that you are going to do. So what's one thing you're taking away from this video? Pop it in the comments. Again, when we write down our intentions and our goals, we make a commitment to ourselves and to other people, and we are so much more likely to actually do it. So I'd love to hear your ideas, what you're gonna do to bring some self-care into your life today. Talk to you soon.